question that pops up, I'm pretty sure, is what is a TER? Mike actually just introduced a little bit about that instrument, but in 2011, Paul Wright, right there, and Mark Craig have published the TER, which stands, like I said, for Tool for Assessing Responsibility-Based Education, as an answer to the lack of observational tool to assess the implementation of responsibility-based teaching strategies. So the tool was developed and validated in physical education and other physical activity contexts. And in addition to research and evaluation, well, as Mike told you just earlier, the tool has shown as other application as professional development and teacher training. So that led us to a simple question, and hopefully everything's going to turn on again.
Uh-oh.
I think it's that little screen right there.
Right there?
Yeah. It has something about.
Don't let Barry get involved.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And the lights turned on.
Okay, that's good.
Is it going?
Good.
All right.
It's helping.
That's good, Paul. That's good.
So,
It's helping.
that led us to a simple question. Could the TER be used as a professional development tool in the higher education context? We talked about pre-service with kids, youth development, but in an higher education context. So in other words, could it help lecturers implement responsibility-based teaching strategies with their undergrad students? So a year-long pilot study was conducted with a small group of people already knowing the TPSR model, and were reported to be using responsibility-based teaching strategy while teaching. So we did several direct observation using the original tools, meeting, discussions, and that led us to a first statement regarding the use of the TER in a higher education context. Yes, it could work, but however, as lessons are mostly built on a 3-hour seated in the classroom format, some aspects of the original tool raise some minor concerns in our tool. So first of all, first example is assigning management task was reported to be less appropriate in a higher education context. It could be done, right? But to which extent? Does it really help students, which are adults, I remember you, become more socially and personally responsible? We couldn't reach an agreement in our team about that now. Also, some examples of the responsibility-based teaching strategies had to be modified to give richer examples of their use in this particular context. And finally, as one could expect, the TER was really easy to use during long lectures, as pretty much barely none of the items could be checked. So the pilot study also helped develop a strategy in which the TER could be used as a PD tool for lecturers. However, some concerns needed to be addressed. First, lecturers had a problem with giving choices and voices being one strategy, as they thought that giving voices and giving choices had different aims and different needs in their context. So it was divided into 2 different strategies. The most significant adaptation was to write a qualitative comment during significant 5-minute intervals of the original instrument section 1. This qualitative input aimed to identify observed indicators of success, or not, of an intent previously identified by the lecturer. I'll show that to you in a couple of moments. And these indicators were based on items related to the TER section 2, so personal and social responsibility themes, as Barry showed you before, and section 3, students' responsibility, so the levels. So these sections were not completed after the lesson, as suggested in the original tool, but they were included in the qualitative feedbacks written in section 1. So here's an example of a scoring sheet for section 1 as we use it with the lecturers. So first of all, you can see the interval, time interval just up there. So that's for the interval between an hour and 5 minutes and an hour and 10 minutes. So during that that interval, 6 responsibility-based teaching strategies were checked as being present. So the teacher had them during that interval. In this particular example, the lecturer's intent was to improve student participation, so level 2 of the model. So the observer comment was reports actually the perceived effect of a strategy in line with that intent. So you can say clear expectation for the group discussion, that the students are all in task and don't cease to be giving their input to the other team members. So the pilot study has led our team to set up a 2-part PD strategy in collaboration with the lecturers. So prior to start, lecturers were introduced to the TPSR model and the TER through a conventional workshop. And then the lecturers filled the post-teaching reflection form as a way of self-evaluating their actual perceived use of the responsibility-based teaching strategies. So the individual component is shown at the top and the collective one at the bottom. So throughout 2 semesters, the 7 lecturers, because we worked with 7 lecturers, at their own personal pace, were invited to reflect on, well, first their intent. So that is, which TPSR goal are my students struggling with? Then on strategies. So which responsibility-based teaching strategy do I want to implement? And most importantly, how am I going to do it? And finally on the outcomes. So what do I expect my students to do? Afterwards, so after the lesson, they were invited to reflect on, well, did it work? Yes, well, let's work on another TPSR goal. Not quite, well, let's try another strategy to achieve the outcomes. On demand, but at least once during each semester with each lecturer, a lesson was observed using the adapted TER tool. The lecturer and the observer met afterwards to discuss about the qualitative comments related to the lecturer's objective. So they were sharing their point of view and discussing about what everyone saw. And actually, if you want to know more about each individual process, there's a poster upstairs at stand 5. So you'll see like every individual process. Don't go now, maybe in a couple of have a look at the poster. And if you look at the bottom, the collective PD strategy went on simultaneously, inviting lecturers to meet together and discuss about the shared issue related to students' responsibility. So after agreeing on a shared issue they wanted to work on, they had to develop and implement a strategy to help resolve that issue. So in our group, transfer was the issue the lecturers have chosen to work on throughout the project. And actually, they're still working on it as we speak right now. I received an email saying that they had a meeting while I was gone, and they tried a new strategy to improve transfer. So, still going on. The TER tool per se was not used in collaborative meetings, but the lecturers added in the tool, the description of each responsibility-based teaching strategies, as well as section 2 and 3 to help them throughout their problem-solving process. And as they were all involved in the individual component, they were familiar with the tool and helped them in the collective activity. So yes, our current experience shows that the TER tool could be used as a PD tool in a higher education context. However, when you give someone the choice, it means that he or she might not choose to work on higher responsibility-based teaching strategies, so not fully implementing the TPSR model. They might just become better teachers. But is it really a problem from a professional development point of view? However, it raises the issues to the original model. And commenting on their effective strategies, a way of providing them with opportunities for success. So Mike told us about that earlier on. Often teachers are doing responsibility-based teaching strategy without being aware of it. And without having, that's important, the intent of fostering personal and social responsibility. So increasing lecturers' awareness of their good responsibility-based teaching strategy might help them feel more self-efficient and self-confident about it. Also, providing qualitative comments related to the lecturer's own objective eases the implementation of responsibility-based teaching strategy, mostly because teachers are working on actual concerns. It provides them with rapid feedback about their strategy's effectiveness. The TER tool seems more appropriate for individual PD, but it provides lecturers with a shared language and eases communication and collaborative PD activities. Another efficient way to use it could be with peer assessment, as Mike did in his doctoral study, but we didn't do such a thing. So some final thoughts to conclude, and it's funny because it's pretty much the same as Mike, and we didn't talk before. So, TPSR model is a way of being, which could be applied to other contexts, and the TER could ease its implementation. However, to be used for research and evaluation, the TER has to be validated in the higher education context. So more studies are needed for that matter. And it is also imperative to adjust the examples given for each strategy in a higher education context. And as for TPSR and physical education, teacher education, Dave talked about it earlier. Should we, as faculty, implement the TPSR models ourselves in the way we teach our undergrads? And if the answer is yes, then the TER might be useful for us. So thank you very much, and as we say in French, merci.
That was nice. That's interesting.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of training the lecturers had in the model. So,
I'm sorry?
how skillful the lecturer? You said you had lectures or teachers. So, what kind of how they got the knowledge of the model?
Well, we did like I said prior to start, we did a workshop with them.
Yeah, but what was the workshop? Was it kind of one-day workshop or?
Well, it was just an introduction because I'm working with them each and every day, so we come back to the TER and we come back to TPSR pretty much each time we meet. So it's just an introduction at the beginning, talking about the values, see if we share those values, but that's important. And we actually, I'm working with a group of 12 lecturers, but only 7 of them decided to participate because they share the values.
Because I really think it means a lot that you really get into the model.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
it's easy to say that I don't mean you are saying, but to say that, okay, I'm using the model, and then it's basically just like being or listening a couple of hours in a workshop.
Yeah, exactly. And if like I said in my discussion, I think that only one of them is actually doing TPSR in their teaching. The others are getting there. So they're not there yet. But when you provide them with opportunities to success, like you're just relating what they're actually doing to TPSR, responsibility-based teaching strategies, it helps them seeing the potential of what they're doing. So their intent can change. Instead of, let's say, using peer assessment,
Since he was responding to our work. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and then I'll be back and be able to do whatever after.
Okay.
It's an ongoing.
I'll eat some drinks.
As